Hello everyone and welcome to Coronation Street Official today. And if you are not subscribed yet, please hit that button right now because what I'm about to tell you is one of the most explosive jaw-dropping storylines the couples have seen in years. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Coronation Street fans think they have finally cracked the code on who is going to bring down Carl Webster, and the clues have been hiding in plain sight all along. Carl has been confirmed as one of the potential victims in an upcoming murder twist that is set to shake the entire street to its core. This is not just manipulation finally reaching its breaking point, and at the center of it all is one of the most tragic figures Coronation Street has ever produced. Debbie Webster, a woman who has endured more pain than anyone on that street deserves, and who is now slowly but surely pushing back. Let us go back to where this whole nightmare began, because without understanding the full history you cannot truly appreciate just how devastating this storyline has become. As fans of the ITV soap know, Debbie Webster has had to serve prison time after she pleaded guilty to dangerous driving and causing the death of local vicar Billy Mayhew following a horror multi-vehicle crash earlier this year. When really it was Carla who was driving. Think about that for a second. Debbie sat in a courtroom, raised her hand and said guilty for something she did not do. Imagine how she felt. Imagine the weight of that moment. Standing in front of a judge, knowing the truth, knowing who really caused that crash, and still choosing to carry that burden on her own shoulders. Before the crash, viewers saw tensions rising between Carl and Debbie in the car, and just as the latter was about to tell him something, Carl ended up losing control, plowing into the existing wreckages that had already piled up between Becky, Lisa, and Betsy Swine, Emmerdale's Aaron Dingle and John Sugden, and a minibus carrying a number of Debbie and Ronnie's wedding guests, driven by Billy. One moment of chaos, one split second of lost control, and multiple lives were shattered forever. Billy Mayhew, a kind gentleman of faith, lost his life that day. And Carl walked away and let someone else take the fall. I genuinely cannot believe he did that. When Carl finally admitted what he had done, it felt like a breakthrough. Like the truth was finally going to set things right. But then came the revelation that flipped everything on its head. When Carl admitted his guilt over the horror crash, as he was letting Debbie take the blame after he coldly pulled her from the passenger side into the driver's seat at the time of the incident to make it seem like she was behind the wheel. He soon backtracked when Debbie revealed she was his mom and not his half-sibling like he had grew up believing. I cannot stress enough how massive that moment was. Finding out the women you have been watching suffer, the women you helped send to prison, is your actual mother? Most people would have broken down. Most people would have been destroyed by that guilt. But Carl turned into fuel for more cruelty. He decided that because Debbie had kept this secret, she deserved everything she had coming to her. The sheer coldness of that decision is genuinely chilling. So, the villain therefore wanted to see Debbie punished and let her carry on with her plan to take the blame for the accident and Billy's death. And Corrie fans saw the hotel owner's health heartbreakingly deteriorate. With her having been diagnosed with dementia last year, this is where the story becomes almost unbearable to watch. Debbie is not just emotionally broken, she is medically vulnerable. Her dementia is worsening, and yet Carl still chose to let her rot. Every single day she spent behind bars was a day her condition could have been deteriorating further. The cruelty in that is almost incomprehensible. However, with her dementia symptoms worsening, her family and solicitor Adam Barlow set about an appeal, which was a success and has seen Debbie freed. Finally, a silver of hope, and you could feel the relief radiating off the screen when that news broke. But wasting no time, Carl has already approached Debbie for money, even making it seem like he had forgiven her for lying to him all these years. The audacity of this man, the absolute nerve. He shows up with what looks like an olive branch, and underneath it is a hand reaching into her pocket. During Monday's episode of Corrie, Debbie was seen heading back to work at the Chariot Square Hotel despite her husband, Ronnie Bailey, wanting her to spend more time with him and it at home first. You could see how much she needed that sense of normality, going back to work, feeling like herself again, reclaiming some small piece of the life that was stolen from her. Despite Debbie wanting to get back to some normality, she was also hiding the fact from her. Despite Debbie wanting to get back to some normality, she was also hiding the fact that Carl had asked her to send him 10,000 euro to pay off his debt to a dodgy car dealer. Fiona, she was protecting him even now, even after everything, and that says so much about who Debbie is as a person. Even bruised and broken, she still tried to shield the person who destroyed her. But when Ronnie found out what was going on, he did some digging of his own, and later revealed to his heartbroken wife that Carl's debt with Fiona was only 5,000 euro, and that was trying to fleece her once again. He was lying again, doubling the debt, pocketing the difference, and using Debbie's love and guilt as the weapon to do it. It left Debbie telling Carl she was done and that she couldn't carry on with him anymore. And honestly, good for her. That moment felt like the first real breath Debbie had taken in months. And Corrie fans think it is leading up to Carl being the one who is bumped up as a shock death occurs on the cobbles later this month. With the episode also seeing Summer Spellman questioning Abby Webster's comments about Carl as the one driving when her guardian Billy died, Summer asking questions is crucial. Because once the younger generation starts pulling at those threads, the whole story begins to unravel, and Carl knows it. What makes this storyline hit so differently from your typical Coronation Street drama is the emotional realism woven through every scene. This is not just about a villain doing bad things and facing consequences. This is about a community of broken people, all connected to one catastrophic moment, slowly circling toward a reckoning. Debbie's arc specifically is extraordinary in its complexity. She's a victim who initially chose complicity, a mother who did not know she was one, and a woman whose mind is betraying her just as she needs it most. The story forces viewers to sit with their own moral discomfort, to ask themselves what they would do if they were in her shoes. And that discomfort is precisely what makes it so compelling. Ronnie Bailey's role cannot be underestimated either. His quiet fury, his determination to protect Debbie, and his willingness to do the hard investigative work that exposed Carl's let us lie. These are the actions of a man who is reaching his limit. And when a protective, fiercely loyal person like Ronnie reaches his limit, anything becomes possible. The growing list of people with genuine motive to see Carl gone is what makes the murder twist feel inevitable rather than shocking. Summer's questioning adds another dimension entirely. It represents the truth slowly crawling to the surface despite everyone's best efforts to keep it buried. The younger, less filtered voice asking the obvious question that everyone around her has been too scared or too hurt to ask out loud. That is always the moment when things begin to fall apart for a villain like Carl. Personally, I don't think this is about who did it anymore. I think it's about who finally couldn't take it anymore. And that's a much darker place for this story to go. Debbie silenced Ronnie's anger, even the quiet suspicion building around the street. It all feels like pressure building in a sealed room, and something has to give. But here's the real question: if Carl does meet his end, is that justice or just another tragedy layered on top of an already broken story? And what if the truth comes out too late? What if the wrong person pays the price? Again, because let's be honest, Corrie rarely gives clean endings, and right now this feeling feels anything but clean. My gut says the twist won't just shock us, it will divide viewers, because the person responsible might be someone we understand, even if we can't fully support them. So ask yourself this: if you were pushed as far as Debbie has been, would you still walk away? Or would you finally snap? And another thing, are we about to see justice served, or a mistake that changes the street forever? One thing certain, the calm we are seeing now doesn't feel real. It feels like the quiet just before everything explodes. Drop your theories in the comments below. Who do you think is going to take Carl down? And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to Coronation Street Official today, so you never miss a single update from the couples.